What's happening, guys? Chris VA Travels here in Edinburgh, Scotland, right off the Royal Mile, and going to visit the home of John Knox, responsible for the Scottish Reformation, enemy of Mary Queen of Scots. And yeah, I'm gonna go in and check this place out. Old cistern right here. Film this thing. The Netherbow Wellhead. And it's the oldest of the surviving cisterns in town. Pretty cool, and you see water would shoot out of there, it looks like. And that must just be a decorative keyhole, if that's what it is. And that's how you get inside, I guess, that big iron door. And yeah, a lot of road noise. You see this kind of stone to brick road. And we're about halfway down the Royal Mile. You've got Holyrood Abbey down on that end. And at the very top of the hill, you're gonna have Edinburgh Castle, but there's also St. Giles Cathedral. Over here, some information. And it says the Mowbray House is behind us. And again, these are the oldest houses in Edinburgh. And it gives you an idea of what it would have looked like in about 1600. And as I was saying, the house was built for the James Mosman about 1556. And it says we were on the edge of the walled city of Edinburgh. Okay. And there's they have these little closes everywhere. They're kind of like side street alleys. Some of them go underground. Yeah, they're everywhere. Here it is, John Knox house. Little timeline right here. And let me gather some information. Tickets are £7 and they're open every day from 10 until 6. Cool, all right. All right, so we've got a bookstore right when you walk in. Some old Scottish lore. Oh, cafe back here. I smelled something. All right, bought my ticket, taking the tour. And it's a self-guided tour, and you follow these stations. Right here is station 1. And some information. The house was built in 1470. And it's been a museum, wow, since 1853. But yeah, the station 1, where these bookshelves are, this kind of lobby area, was a store. It was a shopping center at the time where they just sold wares and jewelry and whatnot. Right back here, a model of the house, it looks like. Pretty nice painting right here. Oh, all right. There it is in 1600. Wow, and you know these are old. These joists. Old bracket. And is that some sort of type of nail right here? Where it was joined? You see a little wedge right here. Stop number 2 is outside. Just talks about the exterior. And it says this is the only surviving medieval mansion in Edinburgh. Just step back to get a better look. And it says it's so picturesque that many people think it's a fake. And over here, this crest. This coat of arms is of the Mosmans, and they are the royal goldsmiths to the medieval Stuart kings and makers of the Scottish crown. Okay. The initials can be read vertically or horizontally, JM and MA. They indicate the marriage of James Mosman and Marietta Erez. Oh, one more thing. Daniel Defoe lived here, famous author, and he wrote Robinson Crusoe. So that's kind of neat. And this little plaque here of George Jameson, or George Jameson. He was a painter. So quite a few famous people lived here. A little tiny window right there. Netherbow Tower. She said take a walk down here, turn around, and I'll see it. And so it looks like this is the Netherbow Tower, and you'll see the bell on top. This is actually Edinburgh's city bell. It was commissioned by the Senate and people of Edinburgh. It's from Holland, 1621. This sculpted panel, it commemorates the escape of King James VI, aka King James I, and his wife Queen Anne from Guy Fawkes during the Gunpowder Plot. And this motto, Biti Pacifi, I know I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it means blessed are the peacemakers. I triggered a recording. Alright, so just information on John Knox. Again, it started the Scottish Reformation. And not a friend of Mary Queen of Scots. Obviously, she was Catholic. He and some other nobles had her ousted. Had King James, little baby King James, placed on the throne. And it says he was a fiery and vociferous preacher. And things became so tense in 1571 he had to flee the city, but returned a year later to start preaching again. The goldsmith, okay. That must be Mosman. Yeah, he was on the side, like I say, of Mary Queen of Scots. Alright, so here's a timeline right here. I'll pause, let you read. He and Mosman. Battle of Flodden. Queen of Scots. The Tudor dynasty begins. And this is where she was executed, down here. What is this? Once again, this just goes over James Mosman's life. Goldsmith. Lived here from 1558 to 1572. Lived a life of privilege because King James V's widow, Mary of Guise, was on the throne. She was a Catholic French queen. But once she died in 1516, things turned upside down. A lot of turmoil began, and obviously that's when the Reformation had begun. Okay, alright, let me walk back here. Obviously, here she is. I think the recording is going to start back up. Yep. Get a good look at her. It's a pretty good painting. Holding a pearl. Oh, pretty cool. The lion right here with a dagger and something else in his hand.
Is that you, John Knox? Why are you in my house?
Not your house any longer, Mosman. You were made an outlaw, and I'm resting here now.
No one can
You hear
be
what's going
outlawed
on?
for serving his rightful post.
Edinburgh Castle, of course, up there on Castle Rock. Volcanic Rock.
With her head on them, you were a condemned man, Jane. Mary Stuart.
Okay, let me keep on going. Mind your head. Here he is, little sculpture. Oh, and check this out. The stairway was specifically designed to go this direction when you come down, so your left hand would grab the rail, so your right hand was free to hold a sword in case you had to attack somebody breaking into the jewelry shop trying to steal Mr. Mosman's gold. Okay, so over here a lot more plaques, a lot of information. I'm not going to read every plaque to you. I'll pause over a few if you want to pause and read. So Knox, he was in leagues with Martin Luther, John Calvin. Oh, wow. Very old book right there. Latin Bible, 1521. And well, yeah, things really changed after the printing press. It says this thing was bound in wood that came from the house. Yeah, you can see the wood cover back there. Geneva Bible over here. it says about 80% of the King James Bible was taken from the Geneva Bible of 1560. The Holy Gospel of Jesus Christ according to Matthew. The first Scottish printing of the English Bible, 1576, 1579. John Knox dispensing the sacrament at Calder House by William Dyce. Fireplace back here. Tall back chair. This is a visitor's book from when it first opened back in 1853. Some old postcards. Oh, alright. Oh, cool. Yeah, again, talks about James V commissioned John Mosman, James's father, to refashion the Scottish crown. You know these floors are old, as squeaky as they are. Are these Dutch tiles over here? Yeah, okay, it says the Rotterdam tiles, and they're based on an engraving by Carl Allard, 1648 to 1709. And here are some Mosman medallions. Alright, Scottish crest right there. Wow, look at that wall right there. I wonder if there's like a chimney or something going in there. Strong box right here. And you see kind of the locking mechanism up top. Little purse. Oh yeah, the Scottish crown that was remodeled by John Mosman in 1540. And you can see that over at the Edinburgh Castle. There was no filming inside, but yeah, I saw that the other day. Very impressive items. Keeper of the Royal Mint. And there they are, making coins. Obviously, their tools over here. Great view while you're working, I guess. See St. Giles up there. Here are all the big players. This is Saint Eloi. He's the patron saint of goldsmiths and metalworkers. This is the blue blanket, also called the banner of the Holy Ghost, and it was dedicated at the altar of the Saint Eloi in St. Giles Church. And yeah, the hammer making the crown. Radisson Hotel in that old building. Oh, cool. Wood paneled walls right here. Small door. Alright, let's see what's in here. Oh, I continue going upstairs. This is the Reformation room. There he is, breathing fire right there.
God sent his son. Is it
And just
eternal
talks about
wisdom?
how he had returned to Scotland in 1559 from exile in Europe to take part in the Protestant Revolution.
So he was born of me, just seed of David, the angel of the great council of God, the very Messiah of God. And we confess and acknowledge to be Emmanuel.
And I remember when I was in New York visiting the old Knickerbocker houses, you would see a lot of these Dutch tiles.
Was condemned in the presence of an earthly judge.
Fleur de lis down here.
Be absolved before the judgment seat of our God.
Oh, cool.
The cruel death of the cross, which was accursed by the sentence of God, and also that he suffered for a season the wrath of his Father, which sinners had deserved.
And this is a model of John Knox's pulpit.
Well beloved and blessed Son of his Father, even in the midst of his anguish and torment, which he suffered in body and soul to make full atonement.
Watch your head. Oh, dark in here. We're now in the oak room. More of these Dutch tiles. Oh, cool. Interesting. Oh, a really faded painting of John Knox, it looks like. Yeah. You can kind of see it better. Right there. Oh, check out the ceiling. So that's Cain murdering Abel back there. In this model, it shows what the ceiling would have looked like back in 1600 after it was freshly painted. Lobster, that's random. Is that thing attacking the rabbit? Yeah, again. Oh, alright, so you can see that figure right there from what we just saw. Okay. Let me see what's back here. Alright, so these are those random windows I was looking at outside. So this one says Revenge. It's a propaganda print. Mary Queen of Scots' infant son, King James VI, prays at the grave of her father, Henry Darnley. And there he is. Child King. Oh, alright, so there's Darnley. John Knox died in Edinburgh, November 24th, 1572. It was while the Edinburgh Castle was being sieged for the last time. More of these tiles, AD 1561. Oh, Halloween, October 31st. There's his hat. And replica of what he would have been wearing, it looks like. Cool engraving in the back of this chair. Old leather seat. Split right down the middle. Again, great view around the corner here. Looking over the main drag, the Royal Mile. James Mosman executed? I didn't know he was executed. Alright, August 30th, 1573. And obviously, Mary Queen of Scots was executed. Let me get a little close-up of this. Private. Keep on moving. See what's back through this door. Wow, look how worn that block is, that stone down there. Okay, yeah, I think we've seen it all. That's it for the John Knox house. Pretty cool, glad I stopped by. It was kind of an impromptu stop. I'm headed down to the Holyrood Palace. So anyway guys, see you on the next one.